Hello, my name is Chris, and here is where I work. Here is where I create all my music. Um, and I just thought I would share a little bit about how I got into this and a little bit about the process I use to create a song and get started on a project. So you were just hearing the introduction to one of my recent projects. That's a cover I did of The Fate of Ophelia by Taylor Swift. So I got into this back in 2018. During that time, I was in an acoustic duo and we went to a local studio to create a demo. And the guy who ran the studio, he produced lots of music. And I saw what he was doing on other projects. And I thought, you know what, I could do this. So I did. I got myself a Mac. I've got GarageBand on the Mac and I produce everything there. I've got a MIDI keyboard here and my guitar, of course, which I've had for a long time over here, which I plug in and play onto my tracks as well. So that's the basics I've got. The very first track I did was at the tail end of 2018. And I did quite a lot during 2019, a little bit less the following few years, but I got a bit more into it. I've done a few other little projects in the meantime. A few people asked me to do some stuff for them, so I've done little bits and pieces and a few of my own tracks, but not a huge amount. But I've got back into it really in the latter part of 2025. So what I like to do is I like to take songs that I think are good songs, good songs melodically, good songs structurally, but in my opinion, don't have a very good accompaniment. There are either often songs that are very stripped back, and one ability that I do have is someone can sing a song or play it to me acoustically or in a very basic kind of way, and I am able to instantly in my own head hear how it would sound as a polished pop record. So that's what I do. I take songs that are decent songs, but they have the potential to be an awful lot better. So a couple of examples of some early work I did. And you see, what I often do is I've often tried to do songs that are very current, that are in the charts at the time of writing. So I've often have gone on to Spotify to look at the UK top 40, had a browse to see what's in there, see if there's any songs that I feel I can work with. And sometimes I hear a song and thought, yes, I can definitely do something with that song. So one example, for instance, was back in 2019, end of 2019, Selena Gomez had a song out called Lose Me to Love You. And that song is very stripped back. It's basically just got piano and nothing else. But it's not a slow song. In terms of the BPM, beats per minute, it's about 100 beats per minute. So it's mid-tempo. So instantly I thought, right, well, I can give this a fuller accompaniment. I can give it a drum beat, put some guitars in there, put a different piano part, put some synths and all that sort of thing. I instantly had an idea. And that is that you can hear that on my SoundCloud. It's not up on YouTube, at least not yet. Another example of a recent song in 2019, when I was browsing through the Spotify top 40, was a song called The Man by Taylor Swift. I think that's from her Lover album. And when I played that song, I instantly could hear that being a Stock Aitken and Waterman record from the late 80s. So I created a version of it that is just like a Stock Aitken and Waterman record, so something like by Kylie Minogue or Jason or Rick Astley, that sort of thing. Sometimes, not always, but sometimes when I get an idea, I have a different song in my head that I want this other song to sound like, and I use that as a guide. So what I very often go to is a website called Karaoke Version. I can't really show you the screen here very easily. So I'm just going to close this down. But yeah, karaoke version. And what you can do is you can order custom backing tracks, but I don't order any tracks. But what I do is I can listen to some, or I can listen to an excerpt of many custom backing tracks, and then you can hear all the different instruments that are used in a particular pop song. So you can hear the different keyboard parts, the different synth pads, even things like the bells, obviously the drum beat, any percussion, guitars, guitar parts. And it's very, very interesting. And I've immersed myself in karaoke version, what I can learn there for free. And sometimes, as I say, I have a particular song in mind that I want this other new track I'm doing to sound like. So I remember very well with the Taylor Swift song, The Man, I wanted it to sound, the song I had in mind was Donna Summer, This Time I Know It's For Real, which is a Stock Aitken Waterman track from, I think, 1989. So I went to karaoke version and studied that, or studied the part of the track you could. I also try and find instrumental versions of as many tracks as I can, which you can find on Spotify, so you can listen to the instruments without the voices being there, and you can hear things a little more clearly. And I basically took that Donna Summer song and used that as a blueprint for the Taylor Swift cover. And that's just one example. I don't always work that way, and very often when I start a project, I have an idea, but as I go along with it, I get other ideas. So, for instance, the track you heard at the very beginning of this video, the other Taylor Swift song, The Fate of Ophelia, I immediately, when I got into it, I thought I'd like to do an introduction a little bit like Madonna's Papa Don't Preach with the strings. So I worked on a few things, and I did do that. In the end, although it's a lot more simplistic than the Madonna intro, but that was the idea, and that was kind of the blueprint I had for that song. But when I listen to it now, the whole thing, it sounds a little bit more like a Laura Branigan song. When I listen to the whole thing, it sounds a little bit more like, say, Gloria or Spanish Eddie, that kind of thing. Particularly towards the end of it. So it reminds me a little bit of The Lucky One by Laura Branigan. So sometimes you have one idea to begin with, but then it merges into something else. The very first thing I start off when I do my tracks is I get the right drum beat. So, and I normally keep tracks at the same tempo. I might change the drum beat, but it's normally the same. My version will be the same tempo as the original. So I'll look up what the BPM is, and I'll find a drum preset on GarageBand that fits with what I'm going. And that's actually the bit of the boring part in a way, because that's like, it's not always, I'm not saying it's difficult, but it's just like, it's the necessary slightly boring bit you have to do in order to get to the fun stuff. But that's the starting point, because it gives you a base to work on. And then I experiment with a few different sounds, deciding what instruments I want to use. Sometimes I have a very clear idea in mind. I've got another track in mind which I plan to work on in the next few weeks, which is actually a 90s rock song. And the accompaniment is very much all a big wall of guitars, and I wanted to looking to put a keyboard part and some guitar parts in there as well, and maybe a few pads, a few bit of brass in there perhaps as well. That I have got my idea. I'm not going to say any more for now, but hopefully it will be revealed in due course. But at the moment I've got another song in my head as to what I want this other cover track to sound like. So getting the drum beat is the first thing, and then it's a bit of experimentation. But I just thought I would share that. I just thought I'd share a little bit about how I do my stuff. Hope you found it interesting, and if you do, please like and comment and subscribe and share my video with anyone that you think would be interested. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you very soon in another video. Bye for now.